Okay. So, hi, Melody. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. So, for those of you who are just joining, Melody is one of my previous clients. She did online training with me, and we trained for about, I want to say, around 5 months. Is that correct?
Yep, close. hmm
Yes, awesome. So, Melody, before you joined this program, I know that you were a little intimidated to join. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Sure. I was intimidated by the idea of strength training, just the equipment that might be involved and how hard it might be. Um, I I was a mid-distance runner, and so cardio didn't freak me out at all, but the whole strength thing was intimidating. And the idea of going to a trainer and working with a trainer was a little scary because I didn't know you at all.
Uh-huh.
And uh, um, and because we were in the middle of a pandemic, there was also the whole idea of COVID and being out of my home or my workplace, and so those were all kind of things that were potential obstacles that we worked through really well.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, no, and I know a lot of people can totally relate to you and your intimidation with, like weightlifting and things. I know when I first started, I did not leave the cardio equipment room once. It took me probably like a year or two to finally even pick up a weight. So I bet a lot of people watching this can totally relate to that. So also, another thing that was going on before you started joining is you were having some personal life issues that kind of led you, or I want to say pushed you into really focusing on your health and fitness.
Right.
Yeah.
So in around December of 2019, um, I injured my right knee,
Mhm.
and to the point that I couldn't actually run. And so I had done physical therapy on it through um, January, February, March of 2020, and it wasn't getting a lot better, honestly. I think it just needed time.
Mhm.
And then, so I wasn't able to run, and running was my go to exercise. I ran 3 to 4 times a week religiously. I did have marathons. My whole
Mhm.
social network was kind of built around my running buddies,
Mhm.
and I didn't have that then because I was injured. I don't have a treadmill. I don't have an elliptical in my house,
Mhm.
and then layered on top of that came COVID, and so even my once a week trip to Fit Shoto was done.
Uh-huh.
So I wasn't even doing that. And then in the middle of summer, my dad was killed in an accident,
Mhm.
and it just I just lost the will to do anything. I mean, I couldn't run. I was separated from my running friends. My knee still hurt to even walk.
Uh-huh.
A doctor had told me there's nothing wrong with my knee, so I felt like I should be doing stuff, but every time I do stuff, it hurts. And so I came to a point where I realized that I started gaining weight because I was eating lots of junk carb comfort foods and not exercising at all. And that was totally not me because I've been a very active person since I started running when I was 21 years old, and I'm 55 now. So I saw the Acantha had done a story about you, and so I knew
Mhm.
you were there, and I thought, I'm going to reach out for help. I need help to get back to the active person that I was. I need help to move again, and I knew that if I could just get moving again, it would help with the depression
Mhm.
and the sadness, and help me give a positive way to cope rather than a negative way. And so I
Yeah.
picked up the phone and called you and said, I'm interested because I can't do this by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so glad that you did because you've come so far. And you have come a really long ways from where you started. I know because you were very sedentary. You seemed a
Yep.
little unhappy. You had some problems, with eating habits and everything. So, what did you gain from going through this program? How did it change you?
So I think for starters, it taught me the value of weight training, of strength training, and how that can really be incorporated into a runner's world.
Yeah.
And my knee through, I think just through the exercises we've been doing has gotten consistently better, consistently stronger. And so I'm able to, I can run a whole mile without taking a walk break now. And my knee isn't hurting as badly afterwards. And so I think it taught me, it reinforced something that I kind of already knew, which was that, especially for postmenopausal women, weight bearing exercise is really important. It's really important to stave off osteoporosis. It's important to stave off menopausal weight gain. And it's important just to sustain your range of motion and your strength. And running strength takes more than leg strength. It takes core strength. It takes back strength. It takes shoulder strength. And so I think what I learned is that as I go forward, I'm going to continue doing strength training in some fashion, at least three times a week to hit the lower body, upper body, and core/back. And that's just going to become part of my fitness routine. And then I also worked with you on nutrition and tried to get, to wean myself away from all those junk carbs that made me happy when I was eating them and made me really unhappy 10 minutes later. To focus on a diet that is, very fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, lean cuts of meat, healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, all with the idea that, if you have a cookie one day, it's not the end of the world. And that moderation and consistency are really the key words to sustaining a healthy weight.
Absolutely. So it's kind of able to help you create a more balanced lifestyle.
Yes. Yep. And
Awesome.
just carving out that time 3 times a week to meet with you didn't feel doable at first. I was like, how am I going to do this? And really, once the appointments are made and the commitment is there to that time, it was very doable. Yeah.
Good. So, with the online training, how was it able to cater around your busy lifestyle? Because I mean, you
Yeah.
own your own business. You're a
Yep.
very busy woman. I know that you're a part of all sorts of other committees and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, how was it able to cater around your, hectic
Yeah.
lifestyle?
So we picked out times of the week to meet, and we went virtual. I came in and I don't know if I saw you 2 or 3 times before we went virtual, but the benefit of being virtual is that it allowed me to shoehorn this little workout in very nicely in my workday, and it also took the fear of COVID totally out of the picture because I have an elderly parent and elderly in-laws and at least one elderly employee, and I really didn't want to do anything that was going to raise my risk of encountering COVID. And to be able to do the virtual training from my living room, it worked very easily. I have a computer, an iPad, and an iPhone, so I could have used any of those devices. And in fact, have used all 3 of them. I had yoga mats at home and a set of hand weights and some resistance bands, and it was really easy to do the virtual training, way more than I thought it would be originally, and they're good solid workouts too.
Yeah, good. So so how would you compare it to personal training? Does it seem to kind of does it seem to kind of be pretty much the same? Like you get the same results from it?
I think so. We didn't use the weights machines that were available at Pivot Physical Therapy, but I don't think you necessarily have to have those machines to have a very full body workout experience. And so part of that made me happy, because if I continue this, I'm probably going to continue mostly doing at home workouts. And you really taught me how to do that and showed me other resources that were available if I didn't know how to do a move, all I had to do was type it into Google, and there was 3 or 4 or 1,000 videos on how to do a dolphin kick.
Awesome. So, you know, being someone who's gone through the program and, you being someone who's like graduated from them, you've done the whole thing. What advice would you give to someone who's interested in doing online training?
Don't let your fear hold you back. Number one, that you can work through any of that with your clients.
Mhm.
And don't be afraid that it will be too hard. It is hard, but it's also aimed at where your fitness level is at that time so that you can progressively improve without hurting yourself. And don't be afraid of the time commitment, because once you get those appointments booked, you will work around them just like you work around any other appointment. And just don't be afraid to move outside of your comfort zone to do something that's going to be good for your health, for your mental health, for your physical health, and for your future health.
Mhm. Awesome. Well, it was awesome talking to you, Melody. And is there anything else you would like to say?
Just that I think it's really important for people to invest in their health. No one else is going to do that for them. It has to be a personal commitment, and moving and becoming stronger and being able to do um, higher weights, and for me, being able to get slowly be stepping back into running again. You just don't know what you might accomplish if you believe in
Mhm.
yourself enough to do this.
Awesome. Well, that was great advice. And thank you so much for
You
taking the
bet.
time to talk with me today.
All right. Very
All
good.
right. Yes, well,
Okay.
it's awesome talking with you, Melody, and have an awesome day.
Yep. Thank you very much. See you later.